They're attacking each other with just 10 days to go until the first presidential debate right here on CNN, and President Biden and Donald Trump zeroing in on November. Today, Donald Trump expected to meet with House Speaker Mike Johnson and Congressman Richard Hudson, the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, at Mar-a-Lago. And the Biden campaign escalating its attacks against Donald Trump with a new $50 million TV ad push rolling out in battleground states, taking on the former president's character and felony conviction.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working.
Showing that contrast there, CNN's Arlette Saenz and Elena Treen joining us now. Arlette, to you first. Please give us some sense of what this big ad buy and what the campaign is doing now as we lead up to this first presidential early debate this year.
Well, Sarah, this new ad is significant as it marks the first time the Biden campaign is using former President Donald Trump's legal woes in television advertisements. It comes as Biden is really looking to sharpen his attacks against Trump heading into that first debate just 10 days away. Now, in this ad, they're trying to frame this election as a choice between a convicted criminal who is looking out for himself with President Biden and his work for the American people. This ad will run as part of a $50 million ad push in key battleground states, hoping to reach voters heading into this debate and the November election. And it all comes just after months of the Biden campaign really refraining from commenting on Trump's legal saga in any way. But really that changed in the days after Trump's conviction, and they've leaned into that conviction to further argue that he is unfit for office. Now, this new ad push comes just a few days after President Biden teamed up with former President Obama and some Hollywood stars for a major fundraiser out in Los Angeles that brought in $30 million for the campaign. That's a Democratic record when it comes to fundraisers. And at that event, Biden, Obama, and others really tried to issue stark warnings about what a second Trump presidency could hold. Biden really zeroed in on the impact it could have on the Supreme Court, saying that Trump likely would have the opportunity to possibly appoint 2 Supreme Court justices, further changing the balance of the court going forward. And the president also criticized what he has seen as a Supreme Court that is currently out of step. Take a listen to a bit of what President Biden had to say that the Biden campaign released in a clip.
The Supreme Court has never been as out of kilter as it is today. I mean, never. I taught constitutional law for 9 years. This guy knows more about it than most. Look, the fact of the matter is that this has never been a court that's been this far out of step.
So Biden really trying to further draw these contrasts with Trump, especially as that first debate is just 10 days away. President Biden is expected to head to Camp David towards the end of the week, where he's expected to huddle with his advisors in preparation for this debate, marking the first time that the two men will face off in person at podiums since their debates back in 2020. So the Biden campaign really trying to use this time leading up to this debate to drive these contrast arguments, including releasing that very stark ad, leaning into the fact that Trump was convicted in that criminal hush money trial.
Yeah, and Arlette, it's proper to note that President Biden himself has really shied away from talking about the criminal cases against Donald Trump. And now we're seeing the campaign really take this on, an interesting twist.